Hey everyone, this is a little introduction to an indirect proof, and all we have to do is arrange statements A through F. They already gave us the statements for case 1 in order to write an indirect proof. So here's your given, and here's your conclusion. So for an indirect proof, what you want to do first is to use a temporary assumption that the desired conclusion is false. So that means F is where you temporarily assume that this is false. In this case, we're saying that AB is less than AC instead of equals. So F goes first. And then you have to use logical reasoning to get a logical impossibility of the original statement. So let's see what we can do next. What do we know? Let's do some given stuff. We know AD is the median. So basically, and D is so we know by definition of a midpoint that these two sides are congruent. So that's E is next. All right. And then I think B would be good because what I just said. We know that BD is congruent to CD by definition of the midpoint. We also know that these two sides, or AD is congruent to itself by the reflexive property. So let's do B. So we have these two. And then you can do the measure of the angles. So that would be A. So we could say that ADB is less than ADC. So ADB is less than ADC. Right? Because we're trying to prove that AB, let's see, what we're trying to do is prove AB is smaller than AC. So this would be the larger side. That means this angle has to be larger than this side. So based off our temporary assumption, we're going to use the converse of the hinge theorem, which is A. So now we have two more. So the next one, let's see. This contradicts, showing the temporary assumption is false. This should be your last one. So let's look at this. But this contradicts the given statement. So our A contradicts the statement. So that's going to be D is next. And your final statement should be contradicts the given statement. All right. So that would be, what is that? C. So C goes next. All right, so that's your order. All right, and then it says there are two cases to consider for the proof. Write an indirect proof for case 2. So for case 2, you're going to temporarily assume. So case 1 is AB is less than AC. And for case 2, you're going to write that AB is greater than AC, because that also contradicts it. So that's your first statement. AB is greater, and then you just repeat the steps. Just repeat the steps. How many steps are there? So after you get your first statement, then you just repeat what we did here, and then that will be it. That's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.